Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to a video. This is a paid request for Jonathan Lindsey. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, tier list, ranking, movie review, re-review, episode review, commentary, reaction, video game playthrough for an hour or full playthrough, whatever the case, PayPal is usually the best bet. Also have my Patreon and my Cash App. People have asked about those. All those links are down below in the info box, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. But Jonathan Lindsey wanted me to take a look at the Garfield Halloween special called Garfield's Halloween Adventure, which came out in 1985. And I believe won an Emmy for it. Now, even though this came out in 1985, they would run this like every Halloween season. Now, when I was growing up, I said this before, but I always take each video as if it's the first time someone's watching my channel. That's why a lot of times I repeat stuff. Why you repeat stuff? Just, I'll repeat again. Sometimes I just think, well, what if this is the first time someone's watched my channel, so they're not going to know. I lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. We had 4 channels. PBS, which I rarely watched, except I saw bits of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, Reading Rainbow, like little bits. It would be ABC, and then we had 2 versions of CBS for some reason. So it would be ABC, CBS, going back and forth. Same with Saturday morning cartoons. CBS I would watch more because they had Ninja Turtles, and so I would watch stuff like Garfield and among other stuff. And I remember seeing this quite a few times around the Halloween season, this Halloween special, and enjoying it each time I watched it. Now, Garfield, it's been a while since I've seen the rest of the show, but I thought Lorenzo Music did a great job voicing Garfield. He would also voice Peter Venkman in the real Ghostbusters cartoon. And yes, of course, the irony is that that was Bill Murray in the movie, and then Bill Murray would voice Garfield in the movie. Although those films I think are awful. I don't think they did not understand the Garfield character. The Garfield character is known for his laziness and being very calm. And yeah, he'll get scared, but those are very lethargic in a good way type of tone. And instead, those movies like Garfield's bouncing around, going all sorts of crazy hijinks and stuff, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with those, including the garbage CGI. And Bill Murray, I don't think did a good job as Garfield, weirdly enough. But Lorenzo Music was perfect for the voice of the character, and there is some songs in this that I thought were well done for the program. Sometimes Lorenzo Music sings them. Sometimes this guy named Lou Rawls would do some of the singing. They both work in being very catchy type of songs. The plot of it is Garfield is sleeping, trying to enjoy it. The TV gets on, and Binky the Clown's on, saying, hey, you need to get up and get in shape, and Garfield's just going through the motions, and he's like, wait a minute, what am I doing? But then he gets hyped because it's Halloween. It's a Halloween season. And as he's getting prepared for it, he goes in this song, being very excited for it. It helps get the kids... both the kid back in the day who watched this in reruns, or the kid inside here getting pumped up. Although here, that was quite a bit of nostalgia. Because even though I watched this a lot when I was a kid, I had not seen this in over 20 years. So this was a nice trip down memory lane for this. And I liked how dry a lot of the humor. That's what made Garfield work, and Lorenzo's voice worked so well, was how dry he would apply to the voice of the character. Which you think that would have been something they tried to do more in the movies, when you have someone like Bill Murray, and they didn't, which is confusing. But at the same time, Bill Murray, he took the role because for some reason he thought the Coen brothers. I'm like, no, that's not. It's a guy named Coen, but it's not those Coen brothers. And like the humor being so dry, but it could be so simple. I was saying, like when you watch this, it's a pretty simple special. He goes out trick or treating, goes out on a boat. There's a freaky moment inside a house with ghosts. They leave, they find their stash, they get home, and that's really all it needed to be, and it's still very effective. Just the little bits it did fairly well. Whether it be he accidentally scares his owner and the pumpkin gets on the head, and I'm trying to see like who is the other voice actors for. I forgot there was a new Garfield movie and I never saw that. I never got requested it. Ving Rhames, Snoop Dogg, and Sam Jackson's in it? Jesus. But no, I forgot there was another movie. Yeah, I never got requested, so I never saw the damn thing. There was another TV show from 2008 to 2016? I didn't know that. Damn. Again, I did not know that. I think it's Sandy Kenyon and anyway, John Arbuckle, the owner, he gets the pumpkin on his head, and Garfield just, oh, there's a pumpkin on your head. Oh, I never noticed. And he's like, hey, you want some food? And Garfield's like, no, 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 no. Candy, 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 candy. No, no, it's fine. He walks off and the camera just stays there. Then he walks back, well, maybe this. Then walks out. Then comes back, well, maybe this too. It gives pause. It doesn't treat the viewer or the kid like an idiot. It shows that they're not attention deficit. They don't have ADD. That the kid can remain calm enough to go, what's going to happen next? Oh, yep, he's going, yep, there he goes. And then he steals the rest of the food and just takes it all. Lo and behold, you trust your kid audience to the fact that teach them to have somewhat of an attention span, somewhat of patience. God forbid. I know, it's such a weird concept. Odie's very likable. I mean, both of them. The lethargic, lazy cat and the peppy but loyal dog. Good team with each other. I think it was the right decision. They never made Odie talk. I think it worked well for the difference between the two. That was always a weird thing with the movies. The live action ones. Again, I forgot there was one that came out this year. That they made the cat CGI, but they made the dog a real dog. I always thought that was a weird... Like, why did they do that? I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know about those two movies. But when they go in the attic and they're looking for costumes, this song, it triggers such a nostalgic memory. Yeah. Just the song at the beginning for the credits, Lou Rawls was singing it, but here Lorenzo was singing the song about, it's up to me. What could I be? I could be a teen, or I could be a vampire bat, or I could be a Halloween cat. What should I be? All up to me. What should I be? Like, it's very catchy, and I think it works. It doesn't have to be overzealous or overly complicated. But he gets a pirate costume. I did Lorenzo's music. His voice just works so well. Even lines where he's got the little sword and John Harper goes, oh wow, this is such a cute cousin. What are you trying to be? And then the cat just try to push the sword right towards his chest and go, "I could ditch you, but you're the only man who changed me titty litter." Well, it's cute. It's cute stuff. And another thing that sparked a memory was when they're trick or treating, they're going down and they're singing, Garfield singing another song about I may be selfish and all that, but I'm not a scaredy cat. And like all these weird things they meet up, like they meet up someone in a ghost costume, but then it's got like this Bigfoot feet. There's a mask, they pull it off, but the guy has the same face as the creepy mask. I do like before that, like he's trying to calm down Odie, and there's this poor kid where he just pulls the kid's mask and went, "Ow!" The kid walks away. I'm like, do you imagine that being that kid? Like, this fucking cat just abused the shit out of me. He just took the. I just it's like. This is imagine like a little kid. He's probably like 10, 11 years old. Just got bitch smacked by this cat. Something about that made me laugh. I don't know why. And then again, these eerie things happen. Again, there's another ghost. He puts it up, but there's nothing there. And it's kind of this repetition where they're scared, they go in a circle, then they continue the song. Oops, they get scared, run in a circle. Kind of like how this repetition, like a song. Now it sounds like George Lucas. It rhymes. If you never, even if you don't like the film, I highly recommend you watch the documentary for The Phantom Menace. It's an hour long. Again, you don't even have to like the film. Such a fascinating documentary, I will say that, about the movie making process. So, and that's where that bit comes from. But they go trick-or-treating. They do well. They get on a boat. Odie loses the paddles. They go off into the fog. They come across this house in the middle of nowhere. There's lightning. And again, being very dry, looking at the camera going, nice touch. And I think him being so dry makes it less corny, makes it less eye-rolling when he says stuff like that. And instead, makes it a bit more sincere in its humor. I don't know how else to put it. And they meet this guy who's in the house that looks like a creepy looking Uncle Fester looking motherfucker. And his voice is like a... Who did the voice? I should have had that up. Because it's not James Earl Jones, but it's a guy that sounds like James Earl Jones. Let me see if I can find the cast of that. Lorenzo Greatberger as Odie, Tom Hughes as John Arbuckle, C. Lindsey Wortman. What else did he do? Garfield on the Town as Garfield's grandfather. Doesn't show a whole lot with him on here, but yeah, he had that little bit of James Earl Jones dark vibe with his voice. Rest in peace of James Earl Jones. And then they look around, he disappeared, and I thought this was really nice and a very eerie Halloween scary feel, where they look out and there's this white glowing ship coming towards them and they hide. And just again, the subtleness, the simplicity of it, where as they're hiding in this like cabinet, you see these lights go through the window. And the music not being over the top. It's just these simple lights, this very creepy lights coming through. And it's like building of suspense. And at one point it's like going through the floor, and it's like this pulsing of the floor, and it erupts, and there's this treasure chest. It's kind of effective. Like, as a little kid, you may be creeped out with the way they're building up the suspense here, and then the ghosts and the way they glow with these like skeleton bones. I thought it was a fun joke where I think someone sneezes and the doors open, and then they just like close the doors. Again, doing it in a subtle fashion, not overzealous, not a lot of jangling shiny teas, yelling, screaming, music going, oh, it's funny, we're telling you it's funny, tis the music's telling you, no. Or it's scary, tis the no, it's, I think a lot of his subtleness actually made it, yeah, worth watching, and they get the hell out of there, they get into the water, nice moment where Garfield can't swim, but Odie saves him. They find their bow and the candy, and they show that Garfield does have a bit of heart to him. He's like, well, because of all the times you saved me, I'm doing something I never thought I'd do, I never want to do. Here's your half of the candy. He just lets say, yeah, I love you too. Now get. Again, it shows that the character has a heart. It makes him more likable. It could be a sentimental moment, but because how dry Lorenzo plays the character, it comes off more fun, sincere, and not sugary sweet over sentimentality that you could be worried about. And like I said, it ends as simply as it begins, and it was a fun special to watch. Like, this was a nice trip down memory lane. It's appropriate to show your kids at Halloween. It's I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed watching it again. I think it works fairly well, and I guess it's a memory of simpler times, much simpler times, compared to the world of today. Put it that way. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks once again, John and Lindsey, for the request, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.